You're good to go.
Thank you. Welcome, everybody. It's 2:30, August 30th. And I want to welcome Vince Palizzi's here from council and myself. We're the only two council members here today. We have John Sander, our city, not electrician, our city engineer. Gaz is here from Wood Engineering. I guess we can call her a friend by now. She's been involved for several years with the city on levee-related projects, and we're going to be talking about refuse run and some solutions for that today. Scott Livermore's here, head of our Streets and Parks Department. Hi, Scott. Chris Black, our city IT person's here, and James Frank, our city clerk, is here as well. So we'll get this right underway. So I want to move to item 3 on our agenda today, which is talking about a resolution awarding Graphius Run preliminary design services to Wood Environmental and Infrastructure. And John Sander is going to handle all 3 of our items today. And I just was up front for at least for Gaz and for the public to be reminded of, we no longer take recommending or non-recommending votes in our council committee meetings due to sunshine law rules, but we can have our work session discussions. So there won't be a recommendation coming out of Public Works today. John, you're up.
Yes, good afternoon, everybody. So what you have before you on this one is a resolution to hire a firm to get going on Graphius Run. So Graphius Run obviously has been a problem that's plagued the city for decades and decades. I put out this project twice, actually. Once previously, I got 6 proposals. This go around, I got 9 proposals. The reason I put it out twice was I know some of you, all council folks know that the areas that we're going to be impacting can be significantly large. So I put it out a second time to try to reduce the impact. So what you have before you is a resolution to hire Wood Engineering to do Graphius Run conceptual design. As I see it, there are 2 main problems with Graphius Run. Number 1, too much water coming into the culvert systems and too much debris. And what we're looking to do is get a conceptual design that works for everybody to solve those 2 problems. Like I said, I got 9 proposals. To be honest, there's only really 3 of them that stuck out at me as companies that could handle this endeavor. And it's pretty complicated. I'll tell you that it's pretty complicated endeavor. So contracts range from $20,000 up to $118,000. So Wood Engineering, part of this project, they'll be updating our city interior drainage model, which is a requirement for our levee system modeling and reporting as well. So that's one item I pointed out in the email that I sent to you for roughly $30,000. Included in this $63,000 contract is to update our internal drainage modeling. So, and also, with the contract you have before you, also sent you some of Wood Engineering's past projects, current projects, and also a couple photographs of the Graphius Run overrunning its banks and flooding downtown and into the city, which you see some from photos from Brandon Ave and Cherry Street. Obviously, it's a big problem that's been plaguing the city. If whoever we hire going forward, DEP wants to be involved. They want to see the final concept. At that time, they will look to push funding to the forefront to help us out. So this would be paid for with ARPA funding. And let me know if there's any questions.
Okay, thank you, John. I'm going to turn it over to Gaz for a moment here and let her talk about some of these things, because it is a natural fit here, because all all city water is related to the levy at some point. So this is another portion of that whole big slice of pie. So, Gaz,
Sure.
would you give us some detail on this?
Sure. So, as part of the levy certification project, back when we first started working with the city in 2014, 2015, we went out and did survey of your interior drainage, like your storm inlets, and how you effectively take water from your upper watersheds out to your pump stations in an attempt to map that as part of your certification. So we developed this model of your interior drainage in PC Swim. That's the model that John was referring to. And I'm really glad you sent the photos along that you did, John, about the 1,000 block of Cherry Street and Cherry Street North, because we checked our model, and that's exactly where our model says the deepest flooding on the roadway should occur during some of these rain events. So we're feeling, you've seen some real life examples of what our model was saying you would anticipate experiencing with the current capacity of your system and water coming down into the city. So updating that model is beneficial for you guys in your levy certification, mainly because the terrain data is so old, you would need to update it anyway. There have been new releases of data from the state for LIDAR, and that would just get a better representation for your levy certification modeling. But the real purpose for including that model in this study is because any solution that you implement in your upper watershed would be able to show the benefit in this model. We could actually quantify what impact that would have to your residents, to your downtown, right? Not just show that we're going to hold a bunch of water upstream, but be able to show a return on that potential investment, help you guys potentially get grants and other funding and support for a project like that. And so that's where the intermixing of these models really comes into play, is to give you guys the answers to those questions and to help you take a project from A to Z, to be able to plan it, determine your investment, your return, and to effectively get it permitted and constructed in the end. And I'm confident that we could take you guys through all of those steps and hopefully also get you some added benefit with your levy project moving forward as well.
Thank you, Gaz.
Sure thing.
Vince, do you have any questions or comments?
No, I don't have any questions. This was, I felt very thorough. The only comment I will make is, I think this is definitely absolutely necessary.
Yeah.
Graffius Run has been plaguing the city for so long with the flooding, and like you said, it's just been a huge nuisance. I think nuisance might actually be a little bit of a light term to describe the impact it has with flooding. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing this project come through and moving one step further toward remedying this for the sake of the city and its residents, but also the environment too. Thank you, Randy.
Yeah, you're welcome, Vince. Thank you. Yeah, this is obviously, this has been a thorn in our side and a lot of the citizens for a while. And there's a lot of rich detail in here that we won't discuss here in committee, because a lot of it's developing options and decisions we'll have to make. The one one question I had was towards the end, the schedule that was projected, if the project started the kickoff by August 8th, which, okay, we're probably going to be a month late on that. So would we bump everything further down a month, or how would that work, guys?
Yeah, we do have the resources to kick off upon notice to proceed. So we would just adjust the schedule to the date of notice to proceed. And then we'll, if given notice to proceed, we would update a schedule and send it out as we kick off the project to reflect the durations that we have here, but adjust the date.
Yeah, okay. So, and it's really a fairly short time frame to get all this done. So that's good. So we'd probably, and maybe by the end of the year or early January would be
Yeah.
probably completion. Okay. The other question I had was, it talked about peak flows and the 150-year intervals in that. Do those time frames or year frames coincide with the Army Corps' standards and all of that kind of thing?
So I think the more appropriate question would be asking if it aligns with FEMA, because FEMA is the one who dictates the 100-year. So it would align with their 100-year event. However, FEMA's scenarios, when you actually submit an interior drainage analysis, requires like 20 scenarios. So although we would update like the data layer for the ground,
Yeah.
those scenarios would want to get rerun before you do your final submission, right? But like, yes, the base rainfall is that 100-year. It's just when you do it for FEMA, you have to like close this gate and then run this pump station. And then, so you do like all
Okay.
these combinations.
They want to see
They want to see it
how
stressed,
it would
really.
adapt. Yeah, how
Yeah.
we would adapt. Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Randy, I can touch on that a little bit more too. Initially I put this project out to try to contain the 500-year storm event and the 100-year. We started looking at the areas that would require. That's why I backed it off from the 500, the 100 to the 100 and the 50. So it'll be a lot of work on Woods End if awarded to do this.
Okay. That's great. Yeah. Well, yes, I'm excited about this because it's talking about actual options that we're going to come up with, to actually, as you said, Gaz, be able to look for grants and funding to build the solutions that need to happen. It's been talked and talked and talked over. So here we are. I think this sounds like a fresh start in that area. Scott Livermore, do you have anything you want to chime in on this?
No, I'm good at this time.
All right, thank you. Well, so we won't be making recommendation, but we certainly do appreciate it and are excited about the information we're going to get and all the council getting to chime in on this. So thank you guys. Appreciate you.
My pleasure. Yeah, if you don't have any other questions, I will leave you all to your meeting.
I think we're done. Thanks.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thank
Have
you.
a great day, everyone.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
See you Thursday.
Okay, let's go back to item 1, resolution awarding professional services for levy inspection of Jordan Services Incorporated.
Yes, good afternoon again. So what you have before you on this one is every 5 years for the Army Corps of Engineers, we need Army Corps of Engineers. We need to video our levee cross pipes. We have roughly 70 cross pipes in our levee system. It has been 5 years now and we need to hire someone. So I put this out through Penn Bid. I let it run for a couple months, I believe. And I got 2 proposals on this one. One from a firm for those services for over $300,000. And another one from a smaller firm who you have in front of you for $132,800. I spoke to them. They are capable of doing the work. They're looking forward to it. They have a handful of projects in Ohio and a handful currently in Pennsylvania as well. This would also be funded with ARPA monies. And the company's name is Jordan Services, and they're out of Ohio. Let me know if there's any questions.
Okay, thank you, John. Vince?
Thanks, Randy. Yeah, just quickly, obviously this needs done. Again, something that is definitely overdue. We need to make sure that we're doing for our certification, safety and well-being of everyone that resides in our city and around the levee. John, I'm just curious as to what is the frequency of time that we have to have these kind of services inspections done for the levee? Is it every 10 years, every 5 years?
Well, this is a maintenance item on our end every 5 years. So 5 years was actually, I think, 2016, 17, 19, 21. So this will be the year it needs to get done. They're going to start. So it's every 5 years on this one.
Okay.
This is, basically a maintenance item on our end to make sure that the cross pipes are the pipes. They're just essentially pipes.
Mhm.
True, not clogged, not sagging, not broken. Make sure they're in good shape, and they video it and they send us the report.
Yep.
In addition to this, we also have, I'd say the next council meeting, probably I'll be hopefully awarding a relief well inspection contract, which is also on a 5-year cycle. We need to make sure our relief wells can relieve pressure from the wet side of the levee through the dry side of the levee. So that's another item. These are all maintenance items every 5 years. Just talking about levee inspection in general, we get every year the levee gets inspected once a year, obviously, and then a more in-depth inspection once every 5 years. So that's not from us. That's from the Army Corps themselves. So, and we get reports. I get a report from the Army Corps of those inspections.
Yeah. I know obviously we're not going to find any resolution or come up with remedies in our committee meeting here today. I feel the need to point out this is funded with our ARPA funds, but as you just said, it's something that has to be done every 5 years. So,
Yes.
Just to make sure.
Piggybacking on that, Vince, if you don't mind,
Go ahead.
these are large ticket items. I mean, we're talking about $132,000 here, and we're not given we obviously have ARPA monies to cover it now, but when we don't, we're going to have another mechanism in place to pay for these. And
yeah, yep. The last thing I want to see is us be unprepared and pass these kind of financials onto our taxpayers and see that reflected in our ever increasing tax rate or tax rates. So just have to make sure I bring it up. I'm sure we're all cognizant of it. But again, I just had to say it out loud.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, John. Thanks, Randy.
That's yeah, the only question I had, and Scott is here today as well, and I talked to John a little bit about this too, that there's a number of items that our city personnel are going to be doing on this, not the heavy duty stuff, but cleanup and providing water and all that. So speaking from a city personnel point of view, Scott, does this fit it? We can fit this in easily with schedules and all kinds of those kinds of issues, or man hours.
You mean fit the work into our schedule?
Yeah.
Hey, Scott, I wanted to add that a couple of the items that you probably don't see in front of you is providing water trucks for these guys if needed, providing flagging for traffic control, remove and dispose of any waste they pull out of the pipes, stuff like that.
The flagging, the traffic control, we could probably help out in there a little bit. And probably some of the debris that they would pull out could be arranged. And it depends on how much, I guess. It would be whether it would be beneficial to hire somebody else to truck it for us. It all depends on the time of year, I guess, whether I have the manpower to be able to help cover some of this or not.
Okay. I just wondered because it's in the contract, a number of things that the city side is going to provide. So, I just wanted to make sure we could cover our commitments somehow, or if it would cost us, what it may cost us, and any overtime or something like that.
And Randy, adding to that, if it financially strains the Streets and Parks Department, maybe we can look. I can ask UHY if we can take some money from ARPA money and to be able to pay some of those if needed. I don't know. If we have to go down that road, I don't know.
Right. Okay. Well, we'll figure that out. But just so we know up front, we're committing to do those things in the contract, so. And I think we all understand that, it's just. We don't want to act surprised later. Okay, I guess there's no other questions, so it's got to be done, and we're going to get it done, and it's part of our whole levy system inspection and keeping things up where they need to be. So, okay. Thanks, John, on that one. Thank you, Scott.
Sure.
And let's move to item 2 then. Resolution awarding the construction services for East 4th Street Improvement Project to Glenn Hawbaker.
Yes, this one is part of the Old City revitalization project. So what we have here is, I call it the DeSalvo's block. It's 4th
Right.
Street from Penn to Basin. It's been designed by Larson Design Group, awarded to them a while back. They bid it out for construction, got 2 bids, one from HRI. That was, I've already did a public bid opening on this. HRI was HRI and Hawbaker. The low bidder was Hawbaker for $861,383.80. So that's $861,383.80. They're the low bidder for the project. They won't be able to start physical work until next spring due to 2 things. Like Cumming College's the music building still under construction, and number 2, availability of steel products is a little tricky right now. Part of this project is actually installing a water line underneath the road there, and we're not, the city's not paying for that. That's actually going to be paid for from the water authority. This full funding for this would be, it's fully funded by Pennsylvania State MTF grant and with matching funds from Lycoming County. So let me know if there's any questions.
Okay, thank you. Vince?
No, I don't have any questions, just to state that I think this is going to be a great improvement for the East End. And I'm glad that you brought that up, John, because had you hadn't, I was going to make sure that everyone listening and everyone knew that where the funding for this project was coming from.
Sir. And just to let everyone know, that's the DeSalvo's block. I actually have state grant funding for the next block west that fully surround that Lycoming College area. I'll be putting that out for design relatively soon for full street reconstruction, streetscape, and signal upgrades at Mulberry. So we got awarded that in 2 stages, one recently, last couple of months, and one a handful of months ago. So, yep.
Thanks, Randy.
You're welcome, Vince. I don't have any questions either. This one's pretty straightforward. Okay. Well, I think we're ready to have all of this come before council, full body council on Thursday night. So